Hello, my name is Zachary Williamson, and I am back with Beat the Rake DFS. We have a two-game UCL slate, and I'm excited for this one. I think there is some tactical advantages that we can take advantage of. I think that there's opportunities on a two-game slate where, like, last week the pricing was very tight, and this week and the first set of these games was really tight. But Draftkings kind of underpriced some players, and I'm here for it. That's something I enjoy. So first things first, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We have more and more people joining the chat every day, which is awesome. So if you want to jump in the general Discord, you can. And then if you're interested, become a Patreon member. It's very affordable. You get projections, cheat sheets, cores, ownership projections for like NBA, potentially MLB. We'll see if I can come up with the data for that, but I should be able to. And MLB is starting, like lockout is canceled or is no longer, and they signed a new bargaining agreement, and so MLB is big for us. So not only do you get like EPL, MMA, NBA coverage for like 20 bucks. You're just going to add MLB into that. So we're not going to change our pricing. We'll open up a separate MLB tier too. So just more coverage for you guys, more affordability, if you will. Anyway, yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get going. So I'll start with the first game. Ajax and Benfica. Ajax is up, I believe, they tied the first leg, I believe. But away goals don't matter. I'm gonna be completely honest, like they just don't matter anymore. They took that rule away. Some people like it, some people don't. Yeah. Anyway, so in this lineup, there's a couple things. I don't know if Wrench actually gets in. I kind of expect it to be Mazraoui. He did like start on the weekend after being injured, but I expect that Mazraoui will be in over Wrench. If you see Wrench, I believe Wrench is cheap. Like 3,900. And so I'll get to this. Daily Blind is not someone I play, and it's just from a tactical breakdown. I've seen people talk about him. He just doesn't get there, and I can explain why. Actually, tactically, this game was different because he played like a different role. But in the actual like system that Ajax play in attack, it doesn't benefit him at all. So in attack, they actually go into a 3-2-2-3 with Daily Blind back, like kind of dropping into this like back three, right? So these guys will be like a back three. And why they do this is they want to make like overloads. And like Bershweiss, so like the wingers stay wide, right? So like this is like how they'll like set up in attack, if you will. Obviously, like the winger, if the ball is on the other side, he'll make runs. But just in like if the ball is in the middle of the park, like this is what's gonna happen. Bershweiss is gonna come like over here, and Gravenberch is gonna come here. And so then you have a 3 with Dusan Tadic, Sebastian Haller, and Anthony, a 2 with Gravenberch and Bershweiss. Alvarez comes over here, and then you have Wrench or Mazraoui stepping up into this role right here, right? This creates a lot of overload situations for Ajax, and it's one of the reasons why their offense is like so good, because they just create so many different outlets. And so while Alvarez will sit back, Wrench or Mazraoui can make runs in here, and we saw Mazraoui score a couple goals like that. So Mazraoui's okay at his price. He's expensive, but do not play Daily Blind in this offense. It just doesn't make sense. I think you're first and foremost going to slot in Dusan Tadic as your cash and GPP forward. He takes most set pieces. He should have most of a monopoly. Sometimes Bershweiss takes over. But he also has goal scoring opportunities as well. So I like Dusan Tadic, and he's actually pretty affordable. So everybody was like 1,000 more expensive in the reverse picture. I think the big question is if you're going to play a second Ajax forward, or if you're going to play a Manchester United forward or a Atletico forward. It could go either way. I'll probably rotate through. So like the way I play like a 20 max most of the time. And I'll have like I'll have a mix of like Haller, Anthony, Berschweiss in there, but I think the optimal standpoint is to actually go down and play like a Man U play. So if you're playing in a cash format, that's what I would look to do. Yeah, and that's kind of like it. I will say, and we can talk about this lead in the Benfica side. Pass Veer is out. I know they have him as questionable, but he's been out for like 2 weeks, so like he's not questionable. And Andra and Nana has come in, and Onana has actually been pretty bad. One of the things that Pasveer does so well and why Ajax is so good is Pasveer ends up playing as a sweeper a lot of the time, which when they play such a high line, that's awesome. And Onana's not as good at that, and his distribution isn't as good with Pasveer. Pasveer had played like I think it was like 10 like senior games in his entire career, like at like the highest level. And Ajax, like Ten Hag took him in because of his ball, like less of his ball saving skills, but more for his like sweeper ability. And it's been really good for Ajax this year. They had allowed like almost no goals in their like league up until like a couple weeks ago when he got hurt, and Onana's come in and they've allowed like 6 goals in like 3 games or something like that. So something that struggled. Their defense is struggling without Pasveer back there. And I think we can like kind of take advantage of that from a Benfica side. In this lineup, I believe it'll be Rafa or Ramos. I don't know. Sorry, I should have looked this up. But we can do this real quick. Can't quite remember who takes sets for Benfica. I think it is okay, so they don't actually have. Oh, it's Grimaldo normally, isn't it? That's maybe why, because I didn't see him in there. Oh, I do see Grimaldo. I don't think it's Grimaldo. I think like it's a split. Let's look at Champions League because I don't track that stat. Ajax, here we go. This will tell us. Sorry, guys. Like I said, just totally slipped my mind to double check on what their sets have been lately, but this works because I can do it on screen for you guys. Yeah, so okay, so it has been Grimaldo. Tabert takes some. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Grimaldo had a awesome game in the reverse fixture at 4-8. I think I'm going to play a lot of him. I do expect Ajax to control the game. Benfica's not terrible. If you want to play like a Darwin Nunez or a Goncalo Romez, if you see Ramos, if you see Yaremchuk, like I could get there. Yaremchuk scored, I think, in the first fixture as a sub. So it's possible that he earned his way in there. And like I said, we just haven't seen a lot of solidity at the back for Ajax. So I expect this game to be high scoring. Yeah. If you want to play Vlachimitos, he's pretty cheap, I believe, and he did really well in the just 7 saves, even allowed 2 goals against, but still got there. And at 3-8, like punt goalie could do a lot worse, especially because I don't think I'm going to be playing a lot of Onana, who is the most expensive goalie on the slate. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of it for this game. We'll move on to the Manchester United and Atletico Madrid game. This is again, away goals don't matter, so this is just like a straight up 1 game, and whoever wins goes on to the Champions League quarterfinals, or round quarterfinals. I think this is the round of 16. Anyway, yeah. And so I disagree with this lineup. Bruno is practicing. I kind of expect Bruno to play. I don't know if McTominay gets in there. Maybe he does, but I think Bruno will play. And if you see Bruno at 8,500, I think you go to him. One thing we saw in the reverse fixture away from home is Atletico is more than happy to sit deep and let Man U try to break them down and hit Man U on the break. Resulted in a goal for them, a couple good chances. But Man U actually got a decent amount of floor plates in that game. If we look, like he ended up getting there on the Alenga assist, but I think it was like Pogba had like 6 fouls drawn or something, or 4 fouls drawn. Didn't do much else. They had troubles breaking them down, but I think that the way Ranić wants to play anyways is to try to hold possession, and with the way Atletico Madrid play very aggressive with fouls and stuff like that, it'll help us with floor points. It'll help Man U. I think the question of the slate is are you going to play Ronaldo? He had a hat trick at the weekend. I think I'm going to get there. You could also play Sancho as your second forward as well. Both make total sense, but Ronaldo at 7.5, like this is a guy who is like 10,000. I know he hasn't been great, but like he hasn't been great recently in the league. In the Champions League, he's been fantastic, right? So at 7,500, I think like that's your second forward in cash, and I'll probably play a decent amount of GPP. He went to Portugal for a week. He was dealing with like an injury knock, came back and just crushed. They actually had him playing in a deeper role, and maybe that was because Bruno was out, but he was receiving the ball higher and allowed more floor points, and then he scored a hat trick on top of that. So I like the way that Ronaldo looks, if you will. Alanga, if you see him, makes sense. Rashford, okay. Both those guys are okay. I like Pogba as well. The decision too is going to be if you play Luke Shaw. He returned for training. Tellez played really well on the weekend, got an assist, so I think it's going to be Tellez, but I could be wrong. I think you can fit him in. He has a share of sets. Yeah. And like I said, I expect Atletico to sit deep. Make sure it's not okay. So if it's a Langa if it is a Langa in, I don't know how much I like Shaw. And it's weird because a lot of times Sancho will switch sides with him and they'll play off the right. They're very fluid in the attack. And unfortunately, like Alanga doesn't cut back to Shaw enough, so he doesn't get a lot of open play stuff. But yeah, on the Atletico side, there's not much. I'm gonna be honest. Like their sets could be anywhere. Lodi had an insane game, but he had a share of sets because Llorente, Koke, Paul were out, right? Koke, Paul, and Llorente all take sets over Lodi. So I don't know. I'm probably just not going to get to a lot of Atletico. Jan Oblak's been terrible this year. I kind of expect Man U to win this game. I think it'll be a tight game, but maybe like a 0-0 in an extra time, maybe a 1-0 in extra time. So yeah. Let's build a quick lineup for you guys, and then I'll jump out of here. Gonna go eat dinner. Yeah, we'll see what we can do if we were to go like this. I will say if Bruno's not in, I expect more Tellez because they'll need Tellez's creation and he'll have sets, but we'll see. Yeah. Oh, somebody I didn't actually mention for Ajax that I really like on this slate is Gravenberch at 3,800. He's really good. Probably gonna get transferred out of Ajax somewhere else soon, but yeah. Maybe play Mazraoui and you play Grimaldo for sets and see, like, you have a decent amount. Maybe you want to punt with Lachidamos, and then you have like enough for Ronaldo and enough for Tellez. That's a beautiful lineup right there. I didn't touch it. I just suggested it. Not allowed to give full lineups away. Anyway, other than that, guys, have yourselves a fantastic day. Good luck tomorrow. And again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Cheers.